All right, everybody, we got ourselves a little more breaking news. And look, guys, I don't know if this is a poor reflection on me and my ability to follow the entire NFL, but yeah, I had never heard of the guy we're about to discuss until about 15 minutes ago when this announcement was made. So I don't know, but this guy may as well have not existed as far as I was concerned until I got this news. But as of about 15 minutes ago, Adam Schefter tweeted, former 49ers defensive end Kerry Hyder is signing a 3-year, $16.5 million deal with upside to $17.5 million with the Seattle Seahawks. So we have ourselves a new defensive end. He joins Benson Mayowa. And real quick to touch on this part, it is now conceivable that the Seahawks are done with the defensive end position. They feel like they've taken care of it. We now have 6 at least somewhat credible defensive ends on this team. So you typically won't see a team have 7 credible defensive ends. So to those of you who really love Dunlap and really wanted to bring him back, it's time to accept that it's rather unlikely that it's going to happen at this point. This feels like a move that signals that we just couldn't come to an agreement with him and we've decided to move on. If you really like Dunlap, but only for his production, and you would have been fine with losing Dunlap, if you can replace that production with another player, well, read on, or listen on, I guess. So, again, I didn't really know who this guy was until 15 minutes before I started shooting this video. So, let's go ahead and take a look at his career so far. So, first of all, he's about to turn 30, so he's a little younger than Dunlap. He's not young, but age is not really a concern for him yet. So he's really bounced around in his career. He spent a year with the Jets, 3 with the Lions, and 1 with the Cowboys, and 1 the most recent season with the 49ers. And he was not on my radar at all. And I don't know if this was just my mistake, if my eyes just flew over this name for some reason because I didn't recognize it. But this guy had a pretty credible season last year with the 49ers. So let's just focus on 2020 because this is obviously the year that is relevant to our evaluations. He did have one other good year in 2016 for the Lions, but the thing is, he tore his ACL right after that. So that's a pretty distant memory at this point. Just focusing on 2020, this is the guy who filled in for Bosa after Bosa went down with that injury. So 8.5 sacks, 49 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, and 18 hits on the quarterback. A very strong adjusted value as well of 9 if you put any stock into the stat, which I think it's at least interesting. And if you go down to his advanced stats, okay, yeah, 8.5 sacks like we said, but 32 QB pressures over a full season. And you remember Bosa got hurt in the second game. So if he had played a full slate of snaps the whole season, maybe that number would have been more like 34, 35. And 35 is the kind of magic number for me when I think of a really top-notch pass rusher. So 32 pressures in a 16-game season, pretty damn good. Pretty damn close to putting yourself among the top pass rushers in the league in my estimation. So, if this is the guy, if this is the final piece to our defensive front, our defensive end room, if you will, is this good enough? Based off these 2020 numbers, I think the answer is yes. This is kind of Dunlap territory. 8.5 sacks, 32 QB pressures. That is probably what I would have reasonably expected from Dunlap had he come back in 2021. So if he can replicate this production, cool. Now, there were some extenuating circumstances in 2020. He obviously was playing on a defense that was very injured. That allows you to accumulate some stats that you otherwise would never get because somebody has to get those stats. So I don't know if we can expect him to replicate this level of success next year. He will be getting fewer snaps, but if he proves himself to be the best pass rusher on this team, he'll carve out plenty of snaps next year, I'm sure, even with 5 other credible defensive ends on the roster. So I kind of think this is okay. Maybe he's a little overpaid, but we all know that doesn't necessarily matter. We're going to have to see what the details of this contract are. We'll discuss it tonight in a stream. I'll go ahead and do a dedicated Seahawks stream just talking about this stuff, but right now I feel like this could work. I'm not saying it will work. I don't have the confidence in this guy that I did with Dunlap. I will say that. But it makes sense why you would think that it could work. And, you know, there's something to be said for that. If Dunlap demanded 10 mil plus a year, then maybe there's just nothing you can do sometimes. So we'll see. I think this is okay. I think this is a reasonable course of action. It's one that I didn't know was available to us. I can't say it's bad. What I can say is that I'll believe it when I see it. But Kerry Hyder, new Seattle Seahawk, 3-year deal. He's getting paid like he's expected to play quite a bit. And looking at our current slate of defensive ends, he probably will. So I'm going to get out of here. Unexpected. Always fun to get a little surprised. But Kerry Hyder, your new Seattle Seahawk. Peace out, go Hawks. We'll talk about it tonight, but my stance right now is okay. That's about it. Peace.